The champagne flute shattered against the marble floor with a sharp crack that echoed through the opulent ballroom, shards scattering like broken promises under the crystal chandeliers. I stood there, frozen, as laughter rippled around me, polite at first, then building into a wave of derision that crashed over my chest like ice water. My wife, Elena, stood beside her boss, Richard Harlan, her hand lightly on his arm, her lips curved in a smile that didn't reach her eyes. But she laughed. God, she laughed. "Oh, Richard, you're terrible," she said, her voice light, flirtatious, as if his words hadn't just gutted me in front of 200 colleagues. Richard, tall and smug in his tailored tuxedo, raised his glass in a mock toast. "To the unsung heroes, the stay-at-home spouses who keep the home fires burning while we conquer the world. Tell me, Alex, what is it you do again?" "Freelance consulting." Sounds like code for unemployed with a hobby. The crowd tittered, glasses clinking. His eyes, sharp and predatory, locked on mine, daring me to respond. I felt the heat rise in my face, a flush of humiliation that burned from my neck to my ears. The air smelled of expensive perfumes and catered hors d'oeuvres, caviar and truffles, but all I could taste was bile. I forced a smile, the kind that hurts your cheeks. "Something like that," I muttered, my voice barely audible over the jazz band's sultry saxophone. Elena shot me a glance. Pity? Amusement? I couldn't tell. She'd begged me to come to this office party, Technova's annual gala at the Ritz-Carlton, insisting it would be fun. "Show them the man I married," she'd said that morning, kissing my cheek while I tied her necklace. Now here I was, the punchline. As the laughter faded, conversations resumed in hushed tones, eyes darting my way with feigned sympathy. I excused myself, weaving through the sea of black ties and sequined gowns, the carpet muffling my footsteps like a secret. In the restroom, I gripped the porcelain sink, staring at my reflection in the gold-framed mirror. 42, fit from morning runs, but lines etched around my eyes from years of boardroom battles I'd kept hidden. Denial hit first. Maybe it was a joke. Office banter. But no, Richard's tone had venom, a deliberate jab. And Elena. Her laughter echoed in my mind, a betrayal sharper than any knife. We'd been married 8 years, Elena climbing the ranks at Technova while Well, that's where the secret lay. I owned the damn company. Founded it a decade ago as a startup in my garage, grew it to a billion-dollar tech firm specializing in AI-driven cybersecurity. But I'd stepped back 5 years ago, appointing a CEO and board, becoming a silent owner to focus on family. Elena thought I consulted remotely, a white lie to avoid the power imbalance. "I don't want you feeling like you're working for me," I'd told her once. Irony tasted bitter now. Back in the ballroom, the lights dimmed for speeches. Richard took the stage, microphone in hand, his voice booming through the speakers. What a year for Technova. Record profits, innovative breakthroughs, all thanks to teams like Elena's marketing wizards. He winked at her in the front row. She beamed, clapping enthusiastically. Jealousy twisted in my gut. Not just professional but something deeper. Whispers I'd ignored. Late nights at the office, team-building trips. Was there more? I sipped a fresh champagne, the bubbles fizzing angrily on my tongue. Resentment brewed, hot and unrelenting. How dare he mock me? Me, the one who signed his paycheck. Fantasies flickered, storming the stage, revealing everything. "Ladies and gentlemen, the real owner is here, and Richard's fired." But doubt crept in. Would that make me the villain? Petty. And Elena? Would she resent me for the deception? The night dragged on. Elena danced with Richard, her head thrown back in laughter at his whispers. I watched from the bar, nursing a scotch, the amber liquid warming my resolve. Humiliation morphed into anger, layered with heartbreak. She'd chosen him tonight, publicly. When she finally joined me, her cheeks flushed, she touched my arm. "Having fun, honey?" "Loads," I said flatly. "Your boss is a real charmer." She rolled her eyes. "Oh, come on, Alex. Was just teasing." "Lighten up." Teasing. The word stung. "And you laughed." A flicker of guilt in her eyes. quickly masked. Everyone did. Don't be so sensitive. Sensitive. Another jab. We left early. The car ride home silent except for the hum of the engine and rain pattering on the windshield. Streetlights blurred through the droplets, mirroring my swirling thoughts. At home, our modern loft overlooking the city, I poured another drink while she changed. Elena, does Richard always talk like that? She emerged in silk pajamas, brushing her hair. He's intense but brilliant. Pushes us to excel. Her tone defensive, almost admiring. And us? Where do I fit in your world? She sighed, sitting on the bed. Alex, you're my rock. But tonight, you seemed out of place. Maybe if you networked more. Out of place. In my own company. Rage simmered, but I swallowed it. Good night. That night sleep evaded me. Obsession took hold. Scrolling through company emails on my private server. Perks of ownership. Richard's performance reviews glowed, but buried deeper. Complaints of favoritism, whispers of harassment. And Elena's messages to him. Professional, but too frequent, too familiar. Great meeting today, winky face. Can't wait for the conference next week. Heartbreak deepened. Was she cheating? Or just ambitious, blind to his flaws? Moral conflict raged. Confront her? Risk our marriage? Or plan something bigger? Morning brought quiet calculation. Over coffee, Elena kissed me goodbye. Love you. Dinner tonight. Love you too. Lie. Truth. Layered. Called my CEO proxy Marcus. Update on Richard Harlan. He's a star, Alex. Why? Just checking. But I dug deeper, alone in my home office, the leather chair creaking under my weight. Financial audits revealed discrepancies. Richard skimming bonuses, inflating expenses. Motive greed. And Elena. Her promotion last month. Tied to his recommendation. Betrayal crystallized. Not just mockery but manipulation. Suspicion grew. I tailed her lunch that day, from afar in a rental car. They met at a bistro, laughing over salads. His hand on hers, brief but telling. Fury boiled, but I held back. Revenge needed precision. Days blurred into a slow burn. At home, Elena was distant, phone glued to her hand. Work stuff, she'd say. I nodded, plotting. Guilt nagged. Was I paranoid? But evidence mounted. A hotel receipt in her purse, same weekend as a team retreat. Confrontation came subtly. Over wine one evening, the candlelight flickering shadows on her face. Elena, are you happy? She hesitated. Of course. Why? Your job. Richard. Seems close. Her laugh brittle. Jealous. He's my boss. Not just that. I watched her eyes, evasion. Alex, drop it. Suppressed rage in her voice. Or fear. Tension mounted. I attended a board meeting incognito, via video with camera off. Richard pitched a new project, Elena by his side virtually. This will skyrocket us, he boasted. Approval granted, but I noted his arrogance. Hidden motives emerged. He was angling for CEO, undermining Marcus. My plan formed, expose him but make it hurt. Invite him to a consulting meeting, reveal ownership. But twist. Involve Elena. Fear whispered. What if she sides with him? Heartbreak loomed. The conference room smelled of fresh coffee and polished wood. The long mahogany table reflecting the city skyline through floor-to-ceiling windows. I sat at the head, disguised in a suit I'd rarely worn, my usual casual attire swapped for power. Marcus flanked me, files spread out. Richard entered first, confident stride faltering when he saw me. You. What are you doing here? Elena followed, freezing in the doorway. Alex. This is a closed meeting. Sit, I said, voice steel. They complied, confusion etching their faces. Humiliation from the party fueled me, but guilt tempered it. This would shatter her. Obsession had driven me here, nights poring over records, confirming the affair via hacked emails. Can't stop thinking about last night, From him to her. Richard. I began, sliding a folder across. Expense reports. Over $50,000 unaccounted for. His face paled. What is this? Who are you? The owner of Technova. Elena's hand flew to her mouth. Denial from her. Impossible. You consult. I founded it. Step back for anonymity. But I see everything. Richard laughed nervously. Bullshit. Prove it. Marcus nodded. He's the majority shareholder. Betrayal in Elena's eyes towards me. You lied. You cheated. The words hung heavy. She crumpled. It was a mistake. Richard. He promised. Promised what? Promotion. While mocking your husband. Richard sneered. She deserved better than a loser like you. Rage flared but resolve held. You're fired. And sued for embezzlement. He lunged forward. You can't. Security entered, escorting him out. His shouts echoed down the hall. Alone with Elena, heartbreak peaked. Why? Tears streamed. You were distant. He made me feel valued. Moral grayness. My secrecy bred this. Guilt washed over. But twist, as she left sobbing, I discovered her emails. She'd known about the embezzlement covered for him. Accomplice. Police arrived later. Both arrested. Poetic justice. Her ambition, his greed, their downfall. Months on, divorced, company thriving under new leadership. Revenge's cost. Loneliness. Was it worth it? The question lingered, psychologically resonant.